Thank you so much, Mike, for having me. I think there were a lot of speculations, accusations, and investigations of this particular case. But based on the released CIA report, there were no one single substantial evidence that can link the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to the killing order of Mr. Khashoggi. It was an intelligence assessment-based report rather than an evidence-based one. And the report repeated words such as probably, suggests, and we assess. And the court system in the kingdom has said its last words by ruling with the death sentence for the 5 direct involved people in the heinous murder of Mr. Khashoggi, which then got a different ruling of 20 years prison sentences after the Khashoggi family pardoned them from being executed based on the practiced justice system in the kingdom. And based on my point of view, I think human rights politicization is not at the interest of anyone. Weaponizing human rights and other governments' mistakes is in this field to advance political agendas is a betrayal of the core concept of human rights. And I think the kingdom can play the same game and pointing fingers at the US for suppressing and silencing and jailing the journalist Assange, and for the torture and killing of Iraqi prisoners in Abu Ghraib in Iraq, or in the infamous Guantanamo Bay prison, or for the institutionalized racism against African Americans and other minorities, including Native Americans, and the list goes on. But the kingdom respects the sovereignty of other nations that may have different systems and different internal challenges that can't be solved by pointing fingers and by taking a claimed high moral stance. So that's how I see the whole thing. But overall, I believe on the US-Saudi relationship, and it's too big to break up. It's a very important alliance to push back against the radical Iranian regime and its militias, and to fight terrorism, and to stabilize the energy markets in the world. So I think...
Let me ask you, you say it's an important alliance between these two countries, and Biden basically said that in his call with the king. He says he's going to make the bilateral relationship as strong and transparent as possible, but it's definitely different from the Trump years. How would you describe the relationship between Washington and Riyadh today?
Yeah, I think the relationship is still very strong. Let's not forget the fact that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is considered to be the golden key for solving many issues, not only in the Middle East, but also in North Africa and the Arab and Muslim world. It's the heart of the Arab and Muslim world. It's the custodian of the 2 holy mosques, where more than 1.7 billion people, Muslims around the world, face Mecca for their prayers. Saudi Arabia is not only a spiritual leader, but also the central bank of energy in the world, and it is surrounded by the 3 most important straits in the world, Strait Bab el-Mandeb and Hormuz and the Suez Canal. We are speaking of a country that is moving so fast to advance its systems, to advance its human rights. And let's not forget the fact that in 2020, the World Bank initiated a report of Women and Law that says Saudi Arabia was the biggest reformer in the field of women's rights. That's huge, but it wasn't picked up by the American and international media, unfortunately, because we know that